Hi everybody, it's Catherine from In the Pink Designs. My project today is a little open box for Halloween. I used the Best Witches stamp set along with the Blossoming Happiness dies for the kind of notebook spiral kind of top. It measures 2 3/4 by 4.5 by 1. And it's actually for a challenge. This challenge is the Case the Catalog. So I used page 55 in the mini holiday catalog, and I'm kind of doing something like this right here. You can see it. I don't have the exact supplies, but I used similar things. Okay, so I used maybe a little bit different Stampin' blends, and of course I made a box instead of, these are mini pocket envelope. It's a die, so I don't have that yet. If I'm going to, I'm not sure. We'll see, because I usually make everything. So inside here I have a Twix, a Nestle Crunch, a Kit Kat, and a little pack of M&Ms. So it fits quite a bit, especially for a Halloween treat. So let me show you what we need. Of course, we need some basic white for stamping. We need a piece of Pear Pizzazz cardstock that is 8 by 5.5, so you can get 2 of these out of each sheet of cardstock. Now I'm using the Black and White Designer Series paper. And we need one piece that is 2.5 by 3.25, one piece that is 2.5 by 4, and one piece that I use the other side of for right inside here that is 2.5 by 2. Okay, and we also need a scrap of fresh freesia for the sentiment. Okay. All right, so let's get my Simply Scored. And I'm forgetting this is the host code here if you're going to purchase anything from my shop, my Stampin' Up shop, that is less than $150. Okay, I'll put that back when I'm done. All right. Okay, now we're on the 8-inch side, and we're going to score at 1/2, 3 1/4, 4 1/4, and 7. I'm going to turn it to the 5.5-inch side, and you need a ruler for this. Not hard, just for one of them. We're going to score at 1, and then at 4.5, we're going to put our ruler right next to 4.5 and make sure it's nice and straight. And we're only going to score to the first score line, and then we're going to skip to the next score line and go all the way down. Okay, I made a few errors there. All right, so this is what it should look like after you've scored it, except for these errors I made here. Okay, so I'm going to fold and burnish everything that I can. Don't worry about this up here, because we're going to cut most of that off. Alright, now the skinniest rectangle is on the left-hand side, and over here you have a 1-inch strip, and then there's 1-inch strips all along, okay, except for right here. Alright, and this is what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to just get rid of this rectangle and this rectangle, do our normal on the bottom, and get rid of all 3 of those, okay. Alright, so we're going to start on the bottom left, and we're going to go to the first score line and cut it up to the first score line, and then wedge up a little bit into the piece above it. Okay, go to the other side of this rectangle, cut it straight, the next score line, cut it straight, and then we're going to wedge each side of the square. Okay, go to the next score line, cut it to the first score line, and then wedge each side of this square. All right, Now we're going to turn it 180 and we're going to start on the right hand side. And we're going to go to the first score line, cut it up to the first score line, and then wedge into the piece above it. Okay. Now go to the next score line and cut it to the first score line, and then 1, 2, 3, we're going to take all of that off. Okay, now we're going to take this die from the Blossoming Happiness dies. It is the one that has the notebook edge. Okay, and this is the outside of our box. What we want to do is flip it to the inside and then put this down right on the top. You can come down a little bit. And then I'm going to tape it and I'm going to cut it and I'll be right back. Okay, see, it has, I just kind of bend them a little bit and make it look kind of not perfect. Okay, so this is the inside, so we want to flip it back to the outside of the box. And I'm going to put tear and tape on what's left of the skinny rectangle close to the score line. Alright, I'm going to take the backing off of my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to flip over one side and flip the other side to meet it. Okay, now this is our back here. So we're going to put the sides and the back, and this here is where we want to put the rest of our tear and tape. You probably don't need two, but I'm going to put an extra one underneath. And then just make sure that everything's relatively straight. Okay, and there's your box. All right, now what I want you to do is, I just run my fingers down the sides to give them a little bit of warm, bend them a little, and then I'm just going to pinch them together. Okay? Alrighty. Now we need our DSP, but before we do it, I did a little bit of inking on the DSP because that's what it is on the sample right there. It has a little bit of inking on it. Alright, so I'm just going to use a sponge because that's what I have right now, and I'm going to use a piece of scrap, and we need two of the pieces. We're going to ink both the one that is 4 by 2.5 and the one that is 3.5 by 2.5. And I'm going to use some Pear Pizzazz ink. And I'm just, these sponges we had a while ago, but they got discontinued. But I'm still going to use it. Any sponge, it'd be better if you had our blending brushes. Those work probably much smoother. All I'm going to do, I'm going to just put a little there, and then I'm just going to, I don't want to go all the way to each edge and cover the whole thing. I just want to kind of smooth it around the middle. Oops. Okay, and I'm going to do the same on the back. This piece is for the back. Oops. And if you have the envelopes, you can just do this right on the envelopes. Okay, so now we need our box. And first I'm going to put this piece inside. I'm going to use the other side right in here. I didn't want to make it the full length because nobody's going to see that and that would be a waste of our paper. So I'm just going to use liquid glue to put that right inside. And the piece that is 2.5 by 3.25 goes on the front. And you don't have to ink the back if you don't want to. And this piece is 2.5 by 4. Okay, and we'll just put that aside to dry and we'll do some stamping. Okay, so we need our basic white. And we need some tuxedo black ink. And I'm going to get this image from Best Witches stamp set. Okay, and then on the scrap of fresh freesia, we're going to stamp the sentiment. If you've got it, haunt it. And it doesn't have to be straight because we're going to just be cutting it out. Okay, and that's it for the stamping. Okay, now for coloring. All right, first I'll use, let me put this in the middle here. First I'll use dark crumb cake for the hat. Okay, and I'm going to use light crumb cake for the inside of the hat. Okay. Alrighty. And then for, let's see, for the hair, I'm going to use light soft suede. Okay. And I'm going to use dark soft suede for the buckle and the leggings. What did I do with that? And I used the light smoky soft suede, light soft suede for the broomstick. Okay, now I'm going to use, excuse me, light flirty flamingo for the cheeks and light petal pink for the rest of the face and the hands. Okay, I'm going to use light so saffron for the broom. Okay, light old olive for the dress. Okay. And light flirty flamingo for the hat band and the cape. Okay, and that's it. Okay, now I fussy cut it. Alrighty. Okay, now I'm going to put some dimensionals and some mini dimensionals on the back. Alright. I'm just going to center it. There. Okay. Then we're going to take our sentiment, just going to cut that. I'm going to cut it right in half, long ways. And then I'm just going to cut it pretty much as close as I can to the actual sentiment. Okay. Then I'm going to put this one about right here. So we need a mini dimensional on the beginning of it. And a little bit of glue on the other side. And I'm going to put it about right there. And then 2 mini dimensionals on this one. And put that one right there. If you've got it, haunt it. Alright, now I'm going to put in some of my goodies. Okay. And this bag of natural, well, it's like, yeah, it's natural shred. I got from Dollar Tree. It lasts you forever unless you're filling something really big. I'm just going to put a few of them in there. I'll put the M&Ms in the back. And the Twix. And the Kit Kat. And then the Crunch. No, maybe the Crunch over here. There we go. And then I just kind of stick a little bit in. Perfect, just like that. And for the final touch, I'm going to put some 2021 to 2023 in color opal rounds. And I'm going to use the Fresh Freesia ones. And put a big one up here, a little one above the sentiment, and another big one down here. And that's it. I just love this. It's so cute. And that's my case, the catalog. I hope you enjoyed it. And the measurements are on my blog, my email, and my Stampin' Up shop are all linked below. If you'd like to buy anything, this is the host code for under $150. And please subscribe and hit the like button. And I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.